Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Hartnett and I'm back here with another video for you. You've been watching a lot of mystery science videos that have to do with animals and their adaptations they have made to live where they live or how they eat their food, such as the mallard ducks that you saw. And today I wanted to share with you, since we're not in school and we would have actually had some fish called guppies in the classroom to be observing, and as well as chicks, but we don't have that now. So I actually at one point had decided I was going to get a class pet for my classroom, and I did. And then what happened was we are all at home now. So I'm going to share with you a fish I have who, it's not your typical fish. It's a little bit different. You might know of them. I'm going to kind of turn this around and focus it on him now while I talk to you about him, okay? So bear with me here. Let's click. And let me get it down for you. So you can see my boy here. Okay. There we go. Okay, so while I talk to you, let's see if he'll do this. This is a betta fish. Right here, come here. This is Finnegan, my betta. A betta is also called a Siamese fighting fish. Also, they are called labyrinth fish. So they go by many names. There he is, right there. He's right there. Okay, right there. There we have a good view of him. This guy happens to be a special kind. He's called a premium rose petal betta. He is a boy, and I know that because he's brightly colored, just like you learned about with the boy mallard ducks, I believe. They had the green heads, and the girls were very plain looking. It's the same with betta. The betta girl fish are very plain as well. And not colorful. Now, these type of fish, let me just focus this here. Maybe he'll come about. He likes this side of the tank better, which is why I was trying to go right here. Here we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. There we go. That's much better. Wait a minute. Let me fix this so it... There he is. They are originally native from Asia, actually, which is pretty far away, and they would be living in the shallow waters of marshes, ponds, and streams. So they, are from outside. They do live and originate somewhere. The fish you see in the stores, these bettas, though, are actually bred on farms in a place called Thailand. So this one's a male. His name, like I said, is Finnegan. Finnegan the fish, because he has pretty fins. And he's very excited right now. This is not like your normal fish. These fish can actually hear. See if he comes. He knows me. If he sees me, usually he'll come and swim. Now he's going in his cave right now. He's kind of being shy right now. Look at him. But what would happen, notice I only have one fish in here. That's because you can't put two male or two boy fish in there he is peeking out, in a fish tank, or they will fight, hence their name, fighting fish. Usually the reason they say that they are fighting is they're either protecting their territory or if they're breeding like their girl. The males actually are very good caretakers when they do a male and a female were to get together and lay their eggs. The male builds the nest, a bubble nest, right at the top of the water, and they protect the young and defend them against predators if they were out in the actual wild. So they're very different. In nature, they would eat insects and small larvae, like bug larvae. And here, obviously, I just have food. Maybe he'll come up here. I'm not sure. Come on up out of your tank. He's hiding from you guys. I don't know why he's doing this. He's usually pretty, I think it's because he hears me talking like this, trying to get his picture. He does recognize my voice. They can recognize owner voices. They'll swim around excitedly. You saw him there in the beginning where he saw me come over to him. They'll come right up to you. The interesting thing about these fish as well is that they can learn tricks. So currently I'm trying to teach him to kind of take the food out of my fingers, and he does. We're getting there where he'll come right up to my fingers and he pops it's a little floating. Their food kind of looks like this. Little pellets. So maybe if I do this, we'll see. Now, the adaptations this particular fish has made, when you go to a pet store, or maybe you'll go take a trip to a pet store, and you'll see these fish. They're always in these little tiny containers, and they have them all on a shelf, and they look like this. That's what I got him in, this little tiny container. Okay, and there's no filter. You know, most fish tanks have this little thing here. It's called a filter. It keeps the water clean or cleaner. And you see them sitting in there, and they look very sad and depressed, and that's because they are. This fish will get bored like you do when you're not interested in something. They get very bored. Oh, here he's out. He might want some food. Maybe I'll take his food. Wait a minute here. Let me see if I can give him his food, and you can see. Wait a minute. Let me adjust my camera just a tad here. Okay. Come here. Finnegan. No. Over here. Over here. Come here. Over here. No, he has a little friend that he talks to over here. Come on. No. He's being bad again. He's over here now, see? He's right down there. He has this little friend I put there sometimes to get him interested in and talk to, and he sits right here and he'll look at him. Yeah. Okay. So the adaptation this particular fish has made because of their environment, living in shallow waters and ponds, the shallow waters and ponds or streams, is that they have developed a lung-like organ that allows them to get oxygen through the air and not just from their gills. So you'll see him, sometimes he'll come up and almost take like a little breath at the top of the water. That's something that most fish don't have. Most fish are strictly breathe through their gills. I know we've talked about that before, at least my class has. So that's something that's interesting with this guy, and that's what lets them be able to keep them in these tiny little containers. Okay? Most people also will get a fish like this and keep them in a little bowl, and they're not going to be very happy. I'm just going to tell you that. Is it possible? Yes, you can. But this guy lives in a 5-gallon tank, and he is by himself. So sometimes I do throw different stuff in there to get him interested. Like I put some seashells in here. Just new things. He has his little cave that he wants to go hide in. He has this plant. Sometimes I put balls, little like these floaty ping pong balls, in the top of the water, and he'll play with them, actually. The sad thing about this fish, this particular guy that I didn't know about, was he's a special breed. If you were to go to a pet store, you're going to see some that don't see his big tail, and he's got it out for you like that. That's why he's called a rose petal. Kind of looks like rose petals. And with a fish, this guy, I always was like, well, why is he always sleeping on the bottom of the tank? He's always down there sleeping. And it's because his tail gets heavy. That's a heavy tail for him to have to pull around, right, Finn? Right? And that's why it's kind of sad. I didn't really realize that about these special breed ones. But another thing about this is sometimes to keep him from being bored, I'll put a mirror up to the tank. I don't know if he'll do it right now. See him reacting to here's a mirror. Now watch. I'm putting it up there. And he's not getting to it. Well, he's getting a little excited because he's seeing a reflection of himself. And when they do that, they puff out the front part of their... See, he's getting a little bit like, ooh, there's another fish around here. I'm going to start fighting. But maybe not. He got a little excited there for a minute. This is generally his sleep time. I do turn off the light at night for about 8 hours because actually these fish do sleep and they do need 8 hours of darkness. So he gets his light turned off and he sleeps because he also has this special little thing up here. I don't know if you can see it from there. There we go. That's a hammock. He lays on that and sleeps up there, or he'll sleep down on the rocks down here. His bowl is his home here is up for its weekly cleaning tomorrow, which I do about once a week. So that is kind of, I thought it was interesting. I didn't know that these kind of fish had that special adaptation, that they don't just breathe through their lungs. They actually have something within their gills that they also can take oxygen from the air. And that's why he comes up to the top sometimes here. He's not going to come up and eat. At least he's showing you his fins, though. That's what I wanted you to see. I also have another fish in here, and he's somewhere now. You kind of can't see him. He's black. And he's my suckerfish. He cleans up the algae in the tank. And he was swimming around a while ago. He's a big black fish. But I think he's taking a nap, too. So, I just thought this would be an interesting little video for you about Finnegan, and Phoebus is the other fish. But like I said, he's hiding right now. He's the housekeeping of the tank. About this, and his next thing we're going to do once we learn the trick with eating out of my hand is he's going to learn how to jump through a hoop, which supposedly you can teach them to do. Just like you train your dog, these fish are capable of being able to do these little kinds of tricks. So that's Finnegan there. Maybe if I ever get him to do it, I'll make another video of him and his jumping through the hoops. But sometimes it just depends on him. He's showing you his pretty tail now. Yeah, his very pretty tail. Finnegan. So, that is it for today. There'll be another, one other little thing attached to go along with this week's videos. And then tomorrow's going to be Field Trip Friday. So I hope you like this. And learned a little bit about these beautiful fish that are almost like having a pet if you can't have a pet or dog. But it's best to actually keep them in about a 5-gallon tank if you want them to be happy and healthy, is what it comes down to. And if I wanted to breed them, well, I would get a female fish and put it in there, and I might end up with a whole bunch of little babies. But I don't think I want that right now. So Finnegan is going to say goodbye. Right? Say bye. And we're going to sign off. And we hope you learned something. I might be posting, actually Monday, a video about another insect that you guys are going to get to see and learn about that I have got for us. Some of my kids already learned it. I gave them a preview of it, but the rest of us will find out about that on Monday. So, goodbye from Finnegan and Phoebus. Bye.